What's up, Keep Pounding Nation? We're back with another video today. I'm gonna keep it real with you. We got some pluses and some minuses from last week's game. Week 1 of the season against the Rams. Man, we could have won that game. We could have won that game. If we had not shot ourselves in the foot as many times as we did in the first half, we could have won that game. This one hurts. You know, and I'm talking specifically about all those dead drives on offense. You know, the defense held it down in the first half. Let's be real, the defense held it down. You know, Shaq was all over the place. Bradbury did his thing. You know, that was the best game I've seen from Bradbury in a long time. I'm going to be straight up with you guys on that one. So here's the thing. I'm going to go through this list of positives and negatives for you guys heading into this Tampa Bay game. This is the preview for the Tampa Bay game. So let's dive into this. Let's start with all the things that we need to work on. Alright, starting with a good chunk of the fans left before the game was over. Really? Opening game of the season. I get that y'all are trying to beat traffic and all that. But where's the loyalty, man? It was a 3-point game at the end of this thing. It was a 3-point game. And y'all already leaving? Where's the loyalty? I'm calling y'all out on that one. Now, I understand the people that left, within 2 minutes of the game being over to beat traffic. I get that. I ain't calling y'all out. I'm calling everybody else out that left at halftime and at the end of the third thinking, oh, well, this team's not going to come back from this. We might as well just hit the road and listen to the game on the radio. What? Now hold up. I went to 4 games in 2015. I paid $100 a ticket. And that's just for the upper bowl. How do y'all make that much money that you could justify leaving that early and not have to worry about it? I get the people that have PSLs. I get that. I'm talking about the people that don't have PSLs. They come in here for single game tickets that are not from out of state, that are buying $500 tickets and then just leaving at the third quarter once we're down and coming to the next game. Oh, fair weather. It's like, what? Come on, man. You didn't hear anything from that crowd in the fourth quarter. Nothing. It wasn't loud at all. Dude, I've been to college football games, lower tier college football games that are louder than that. Show some love, man. Alright. Back to it. Because I know everybody in the comment section, there were at least 15 or more comments about that on the official page. 15 or more. And I was like, you ain't lying. So let's get into it. Alright. Next one is offensive line assignments. Now, here's my problem with this. If you cannot hold your own in your own assignment lane, and a guard has to help you constantly, you're not very good at your job. You should not be on the starting line. And I've seen it enough times from Darrell Williams that I'm just going, what is your deal? Like, what? Is it the guard? Is it Darrell? I don't know. But something ain't right there. They need to explore that. Alright, so you got DJ Moore. How many more times are you going to fumble this ball, man? Do we need to put duct tape on your hands? Like, what? What do we need to do? You fumbled it all through last year. Never learned your lesson. Started doing it immediately in the Rams game. And I'm just going, come on, DJ. You know, are we going to have you, like, carry the ball everywhere around the Panthers Stadium and all of the areas up there near the stadium? Like they did in college back in the day, man? Come on, dude. Get it together. I mean, it worked to a degree. That plan worked to a degree. So then we've got the wide receivers didn't get open. And I'm talking specifically about Curtis Samuel. He was a ghost for the entire first half. When he did get open, Cam overthrew him. We got to fix this offense. The worst thing that we have going for us is Cam's terrible decision making. And, you know, one of my guys live streamed the game, after this, and I was able to show everybody that was watching it exactly what plays I was talking about. He would throw it into triple coverage, he would throw it into double coverage where it's just not there. And it's just like, come on, Cam, use your head. Use your head. And I didn't want to put this on camera, but I think it's time to admit that concussion knocked some screws loose. Because, he wasn't throwing that many incomplete passes before he got that concussion. Let's be real here. He wasn't forcing a lot of passes before 15. But now that number has tripled. Like, he's been forcing bad passes. He's been throwing into triple coverage. He's been throwing picks. Like, the receivers that are like 5 yards inwards from where he's throwing it, and he'll throw it right to a safety or something. Like, come on, man. Come on, Cam. You're killing us, dude. You can't be doing that during a game. That's what I'm just saying. If he starts doing that, take him out. Like, you have my permission, and this fan base's permission, to put Kyle Allen in if you feel the need to, Ron. Like, seriously. If you feel like he's starting to make bad decisions, do it. I will defend you all day long on that decision. Alright, then you got Dante Jackson acting like Mike Jekyll and Hyde out there, taking plays off. Dude, you got the Jekyll side of him, where he's doing just fine, and then the Hyde side, where he just takes plays off, and he just plays terrible. I don't know what to tell you there, but Dante, you got to get your act together, dude. You can't. You got to play 4 full quarters, man. You can't just be like half and half and be like, oh, that's acceptable. That's gonna fly in the locker room and on film study. No, it's not. You got burned a number of times because of that. And honestly, that's not good enough. That's like saying half a sandwich is enough to eat. That's like saying half of a car is enough to drive. That's like saying half of a plane is enough to fly. It's not, dude. Get it together. Like, I love you, man. I love you. I've been a supporter ever since you came up here. But you can't be taking plays off like that and turning into Captain Munderland on us, alright? Alright, so our backup tight ends cannot pass block worth a crap. Need I say more? Who's coaching these guys? Teach them. We're one-dimensional on offense. No deep ball. Now, I'm going to get back to that in a minute. Because I've got a theory on that. Penalties and turnovers. Look, I already addressed DJ Moore. I don't need to say anything more on that. The holding calls, garbage. We got to eliminate those, man. I get that these pass rushers are tough, man, but they're not that tough. Manage your footwork. Manage your hands. Be smarter. Improve your technique. I get that it's a short week, so we may not see much improvement there, but, at least try to work on it. And the biggest thing we got to do on offense is stop shooting ourselves in the foot on every drive. In the first half, everything was dependent on the offense. And I'm going to give him a break for the headset issues. I'm going to give him a break for that drive. That's not in the equation. Sly left 3 points on the field. That's not in the equation. I'm talking specifically about the offense. Y'all need to score points. Period. Score points. Finish drives. We can't do that if we're constantly having holding penalties, doing stupid shenanigans on the field, not getting open, not pass blocking, missing assignments, and just overall being stupid with the ball. Now, we've got 2 games to prepare ourselves for the Texans. 2 games. We got J.J. Watt on that Texans team. He's been quiet the past 2 years. But I'm going to tell you, he won't stay a sleeping giant forever. We got to find a way past this dude. Or we're in big, big trouble on the offensive line. We got to find a way to block him. Overall, the line did okay. But against people like J.J. Watt, okay is not nearly good enough. Not nearly good enough. The Bucks may not have Gerald McCoy. We have Gerald McCoy now. But we still have to find a way to get the ball down the field. And that's on Cam to figure out how to do that. That's on the wide receivers to figure out how to get open. Not waste time, not dilly-dally. Find a way to get open. Now, I think that we're running a hybrid style version of the West Coast offense. That's my opinion of what I think we're running. That being the case, I would try out Chris Hogan. Reason being is he's a West Coast style receiver, and I think he could do some damage and find ways to get those slot receptions that are very, very common with the West Coast offense. The problem is you've got to have those deep balls in order to make the West Coast work. I've seen a handful of teams try it in the past 5 years, but I've never seen anybody really successfully pull it off. You got to have the right personnel. You got to have the right skill sets. You got to have the right discipline to be able to use it correctly and get major, major points out of it. But Christian McCaffrey cannot be all of our offense. My second suggestion would be to use Greg Olsen in checkdowns. And the reason I say that is he's not as fast as he used to be, but he could still handle his own in checkdowns. Get 5 yards, get 3 yards, whatever is needed to get past the marker. And I'm pretty sure that Ron has seen this if he's looked at it on tape. So has Norv. So I'm not going to be big on that subject right there. But those are two really big suggestions right there. What we did right. Christian McCaffrey. This dude was on fire. I've got, 153 fantasy points off this guy last week. Outstanding. You can't question this man's effort. Not anymore. He puts his heart into this team. He puts every ounce of himself into this team on that field. And that's what I want to see from every player. Show me that. If we got a chance to win some games. Short throws. I like the short throws. The problem is the wide receivers didn't know where the first down marker was. So we were like 2 or 3 yards short every time. Or a yard short every time. Or even 5 yards short every time. Learn your routes. Make sure you know where that marker is. And try to get past it. That way we can start to get some first downs and start moving the ball down the field a little bit more. Don't just be like, oh, well, let's just go by game flow. No. You take what the defense gives you. You get open. You look for the ball and you catch it over the line. Simple. And North, give him some better routes, man. Because, some of these are just, well short. They're, 3 yards, 4 yards. On third down, that's not going to cut it. We got to get past that line. If we have to resort to medium throws, do it. We know Camden isn't real big on deep balls. That's fine. Use the short ball. Use the medium ball. Mix it up. Be adventurous with it. Check it down to Tolbert. Check it down to Christian McCaffrey. Check it down to Greg Olsen. Mix it up. Make sure they know that that we're not just throwing it to one person in checkdowns. Otherwise, they're going to key on that one person and double coverage them, or even triple. So you gotta start getting a little bit more adventurous with this, Norv. I love you, man, but get a little bit more adventurous. And the reason I know that this is West Coast offense is because that's the only offense I run in Madden. Like, I'm extremely successful with it. So, I know the ins and outs of it. Tackling was excellent. Coverage, for the most part, was excellent. With the exception of Dante Jackson, who needs to stop taking plays off. The pass rush looked really good. We still got a lot of work to do, though. But we did make Goff really uncomfortable, which is good. Special teams looked good. We blocked that punt. Coaching was great. Ron Rivera was right to challenge that play. And he used his timeouts wisely. This is the old Ron Rivera that we're used to seeing right here. That's doing everything correctly. And when you do everything correctly, timeouts wise and challenge wise, you're going to have a pretty successful time of managing the clock. So, that being said, what we need to look for against the Bucs. We need to look for Fitzpatrick. We need to do the same thing that we did successfully against the Rams, which is make him uncomfortable. Make him throw bad passes. If we can do that, I feel like we got a shot. Because the Bucs secondary is weak. Their line is average. Their pass rush is average. We ought to be able to score some points today if we can get our offense figured out. And if we do everything right coaching-wise, we're in great shape. The main thing is the line has got to hold up solid. We got to stay healthy. Defense has to do their job properly. We keep it a low-scoring game. I don't think you're going to be able to fix Cam's decision making, but we can at least stop killing ourselves on drives before that happens. Before we choke in the first half again. We can cut down on those bad dead drives. We could have had 14 points on the board. More than we did. We could have had 14, maybe even 21, if we had fixed our offense. I'm going to say 14, knowing our offense and how it's run, if we had managed it properly. And that's with the headset issues, That's with the sly 3 points that he left on the field. So if we can do all of this and make it come together, we can win the next two. I got a good feeling about these next two if we can do all that. Main thing is stay healthy. That is the number one goal always. Stay healthy. We dodged the bullet last week on that. Everybody's healthy. And my God, that hurdle of Christian McCaffrey on Eric Weddle. My gosh. People are going to be talking about that all year. That's the positivity that we need here in Carolina. It's plays like that get people's attention at, that extra effort. I feel bad for Eric, man. I hope he's doing okay. Shout out to him. And hope he's healing up all right. Because that was scary. I'm talking about, man. Well, half the fan base was just like, when they saw that, it's like deer in the headlights look. I ain't lying. I'm one of them. I'm one of them that put up that reaction right there. Shout out to Eric. I hope he's all right. You hate to see injuries like that in the league, but it's football related injuries, so what can you do, right? I mean, you know, and lastly, I want to say let's send out some prayers for Eugene, our Panthers brethren. He's going through some bad stuff. You know, uh, they're still testing him. He had a numb arm and felt some pain in his chest. So let's give him some love. If you see his comments on the Facebook pages and in the groups, give him some love, man. Give him some prayers. Give him some hearts. Show him our love. Show him who we are. You know. He's a good friend of mine on the groups and on Facebook is in general. And he's also fed me some information. So, I just want to give him his proper shout out, and I hope he's doing all right. That being said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell if you're new. Leave a comment down below if you feel so inclined. And we are going to get that win today. I got a feeling. You got a feeling? I got a feeling. Let's get that win. Let's keep pounding.